Hello everyone, welcome to Data Discovery. At this video, we are going to see the concept related to testing of hypothesis. So, in the series that I will be coming across this testing of hypothesis, like all the tests that we are having, different types of tests like Z test, T test, test, F test, ANOVA test, related to every different types of the tests that I will be coming across it with examples, and then the p value, the significance value, the type 1 error, type 2 error. So step by step that I will be moving in the series itself. So in this video that we are doing it over here, this is for the introduction of the testing of hypothesis. So what is this testing of hypothesis, and what is the null and the alternate hypothesis, null and alternate hypothesis, and then why we are using this testing of hypothesis, that we are going to discuss. So the testing of hypothesis is nothing but a statistical hypothesis test. Is a method of a statistical inference used to decide whether the data at hand sufficiently support a particular hypothesis, or hypothesis testing allows us to make a probabilistic statement about a population parameter. Okay, so what we used to have a population data, and based on that we used to create a sample data. So actually what happens is, like, it's one of the inferential statistic, the testing of hypothesis comes to the picture. And then if you want to find the survey from the people, so directly from each and every population you couldn't able to get the data. So what you used to do, you used to collect a sample from the population based on the population you're collecting the data, and you will just inference it to the population. Okay, so based on the sample, based on the analysis from the sample, so you can inference the population, like, so based on the sample data only we can do it. So at that moment, this testing of hypothesis, everything comes to the picture. Let's move to the null hypothesis. So that is another name is also called as a H naught. Okay, the null hypothesis is statement that assumes there is no significance difference. Most important part. In every research paper and every books that you're referring, this line you will be getting. There is no significant effect or relationship between the variable being studied. There is no any effect. Like, if you are saying mu naught, that is nothing but my mean from the data, and from the other data you are having mu 1. Okay, between the mu and mu 1, mu naught and mu 1, there is no any significant effect, it's saying. The purpose of hypothesis testing is to gather evidence data to either reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis. This is a favor of the alternate hypothesis, which claims there is a significant effect of a relationship. So, whatever that we have learned, there is no significant effect. The alternate hypothesis is definitely opposite to the null, in which it says that there is a significant effect. But just take a picture related to it. There is no any significant effect, and that is a significant effect. So the null and alternate, it's completely opposite. If it says yes, null says yes, the alternate says no. So this what happens. So alternate, there is other name also. It's called as a H1. So we used to say that there is no proven until proven otherwise. Most important statement. There is no proven until proven otherwise. So the null and alternate are completely opposite. Okay. So null says that there is no any signification effect, but it says that there is a signification effect or relationship between a variable being studied. So this is what the alternate hypothesis says that. So there are certain types, other types also, like testing of hypothesis. We have z test, t test, that we will be coming across in the series itself. But before that, we need to find that rejection region approach, why we need to reject it. If we are rejecting it, then what will be the approach related to, then what we need to do it. Okay, that we will be discussing in the upcoming videos. But this is just the introduction between the testing of hypothesis, what is null and alternate hypothesis, and some kind of the definition. Okay, and how to decide what will be the null hypothesis and what will be the alternate hypothesis. Typically, the null hypothesis, nothing new is happening. Okay, we try to gather evidence to reject this null hypothesis. The failing to reject the null hypothesis doesn't necessarily mean that the null hypothesis is true. It just means there is enough evidence to support the argument. So the third point that I mentioned is the most important one, that I have said that if I'm saying that there is no any significant effect, so it's nothing but my null hypothesis is directly true. I couldn't able to predict. I couldn't able to confirm it. I could able to say that it just means that there is isn't enough evidence to support the alternate hypothesis. Okay, so whenever we are doing the null and alternate hypothesis, the all the questions that we will be discussing in upcoming videos. So at that moment, if you're say if by the hypothesis testing, if you got it as null hypothesis is true, so we couldn't able to directly write the null hypothesis following the right path. It's true. We couldn't able to say. We used to say that there is isn't enough evident. There isn't enough evidence. Isn't enough evidence to support this alternate hypothesis. We used to say it in this manner. Rather than saying that null hypothesis is true, we used to say that isn't enough evidence to prove the alternate hypothesis is true, to support this alternate hypothesis. So this is just the introduction between the testing of hypothesis of the null and alternate hypothesis. Okay, do like, share, and subscribe to Data Discovery. I will be coming across more videos related to testing of hypothesis. Thank you.